Hi folks, Mike Schrampke with Larry Stovesand Equipment, America's largest selling Kioti dealer and Tennessee's only 5-paw premier dealer. I've made a couple of short videos on NXs in the past, but it's time to do a proper one. So what I did is I pulled out 3 examples of different NX series tractors. This is an NX 4510 with a hydrostat transmission. I've got an NX 5010 hydrostat with a cab and a NX 5510. This one happens to be hydrostat with a backhoe. The tractors are available in a hydrostat transmission, which by far I'd say most people buy. It's also available though in a shuttle shift manual transmission. The shuttle shift is a 24 speed, which it's not like you do this 24 times. It is a 4-speed with 3 ranges. 4 times 3 is 12, and then 1 more range for creeper gear. So 24 times 24. The hydrostat is a 3-range hydrostat, and the NX, if you get a hydrostat, comes standard with cruise control, ground control, cruise control, and a linked pedal. Which in a minute I'm going to demonstrate how the link pedal. I always say it has a link pedal, but if you're not familiar with Kioti, because I don't know if anybody else offers that. Maybe they do, and I'm sure somebody will type in if someone else does. Pretty neat little device though. As we look at the tractor, the horsepower ranges on these are 45 through 60. I should say the 60 is only available in a hydrostat. The rest of them are gear drive or hydrostat. 45, 50, 55, and 60 horsepower. They're all the same tractor. The 55 and the 60 has a little bit larger tire, and it has a category 2 lift. But other than that, they're all the same. They even have the same engine. Through turbocharging and tuning, they get the ultimate horsepower they're looking for. But you'll notice it is a tractor of some stature. These are good sized machines. They're bigger than your average 45, 50, whatever horsepower tractors, and they weigh quite a bit. The weights will vary from 5,300 pounds up through 53, 63, 7, depending on what you end up with. They all have a 6-foot bucket, skid steer type, universal skid steer, so you put on pallet forks or hay spear or whatever. The lifting capability of these is quite impressive. It's 27 and change, 2761. I'll put the exact number on there. So if you're looking for a tractor that can tote around a bale of hay, these will do that and then some. Comes standard with a load leveling indicator, quick release bucket. That's kind of standard stuff. Obviously a choice of tire, ag tires, industrial tires, turf tires. They're all the same price. The NX is the really premium level tractor. It's the tractor that everybody would buy if money was no object. They're not expensive, they're not cheap, they're reasonably priced, especially for what you get. There's stuff on this tractor that really can't be found on others, and I'll give you some examples. Push button 4-wheel drive, the ground cruise control, ground speed cruise control, PTO cruise control, which that's kind of cool. When you get to the RPMs you want, if you're like using a rotary cutter or tiller or whatever, you could set the PTO cruise control, and if you hit resistance, grass that's 4 feet high or whatever, and instead of having to throttle up, it will automatically maintain your RPMs as you're working the PTO. The PTO is electric over hydraulic. It's totally independent. And on the NX series, it's also a selectable automatic or manual PTO. In manual PTO, say you're running a tiller, turn it on, turn it off, electric switch. In automatic mode, turn it on, hit the automatic button, when you get to the end of your row and you pick up your implement, your 3-point implement, it shuts off until you set it back down. So one less thing to do as you're making your turns. Kind of cool. When it comes to turning, if you're doing row work, you could get a system that turn assist is the name of it. As you go into the turn, the tractor senses the turning of the machine and kicks down the RPMs some, so you're not hitting your turns at high speed. It's an option, inexpensive option. Starting to rain. As John comes a little closer, he's going to show you that deck. I'm going to jump up on the tractor real quick and point out a couple of things. First off, how about the flat load floor? That's just wicked cool. It is flat. The tilt wheel is foot operated. Pedals are where they should be, forward and reverse. Of course, it has split brakes. The 4x4 button is right here, and hand throttle. The PTO, as I said, is electric over hydraulic. In here, in this plethora of buttons, the selectable automatic or manual PTO, no stall. If you're running an implement that you'd like to be able to engage at a lower RPM, but you'd like not to also kill the engine, just turn on the no stall. It'll temporarily override and increase the RPMs long enough to get the implement going. Ground speed cruise control, PTO cruise control. This is my favorite thing on the hydrostat. This is the reaction time. Do you want it to put it over this side, and when you go forward or reverse, it'll snap your neck? If you like nice slow transitions, it's over here, and somewhere in the middle is somewhere in the middle. This button says linked pedal, and I will show you. It's very easy to demonstrate what that is. I'm going to start the tractor. The transmission is in neutral, and since it's in neutral, when I push the pedal, nothing happens. As you know from hydrostats, you have to throttle up and then push the pedal down to make the tractor work. Or you can push the linked pedal. Now check it out. Just like your car or truck. Nice helper thing. The back of the tractor, the working end, again, this is a premium level tractor. It lacks nothing. From a 7-pin electrical point, like all Kiotis of this size, you can raise and lower the 3-point arms from behind the tractor while you're hooking stuff up. It has telescopic check chains, telescopic link ends, a bevel type swivel leveler. One set of rear hydraulic remotes is standard, second set is optional. It has draft control, and you'll notice that the lift cylinders on this are externally mounted. They're not inside the rear axle or the transmission, and that does a couple of things. One thing is, let's be pragmatic about it. In 20 years or 400 years, when these cylinders need to be rebuilt, they're pinned on at the bottom and the top, and that's it. So they easily come out for service when that is necessary someday. And the other thing is, by sticking them further out, it allows this tractor to pick up 3,177 pounds on a 3-point. And I'd have to say, somebody'd have to show me something of this size that can pick up more. The cab tractor has all of the cool stuff we just talked about there, with the addition rear defroster, high intensity discharge lamps on the top, front and back, air conditioning, heat, stereo, CD, of course, and something that, if you're buying a cab tractor, yeah, John, you can get a shot of this. One of the reasons you're buying a cab tractor is to not breathe all the pollen and wheat chaff and everything as you're out in the field. It has particulate air filters for the inside of the cab. The cabin air is filtered, just like a Highline car or truck would be these days. I failed to mention the loader control on all NXs is right here on the side panel. It's not connected up on the loader arm or anything else. It is right where it needs to be. Just to, you could tell the engineers, they sat in the tractor and they're like, we need to do this, and this would make it feel better. And I think if we moved this and made the floor flatter, I think it'd be a better overall ergonomic experience, and they're right. All NXs are available with the KB 2485 heavy-duty backhoe, as this NX 5510 is sporting. All Kioti backhoes are subframe type. This gray frame rail is part of the hoe, not part of the tractor. So about, 8 feet, 9 feet long. What it does is it brings the installation, the support of the backhoe all the way up to the mid part of the tractor. It spreads out the stress, the strain. It is really the only way that a backhoe should be installed is with a subframe. Removal of the backhoe is as simple as setting the outriggers down, pulling 2 pins, that gold eye pin and one just like it on the other side, hydraulic lines, disconnect them and drive away. It probably took longer for me to describe how to disconnect the backhoe than it did to do it. This backhoe reaches out 9 feet and reaches down 8 feet. This model backhoe is sold on our biggest machines, the NX, the RX, and the DKs. It's a very, very fine backhoe. As I said, and I don't know if you could tell, the tire size is increased on the 55 and the 60, and the 55 and the 60, as I said, has category 2 lengths. The rest of them are category 1. The NX is, just about the perfect machine for mowing, tilling, plowing, and these things will cut copious amounts of grass. We sell a lot of the cab models with 12-foot rotary cutters, and they do an excellent job. The cabin is quiet, it's climate controlled, and it's, as I said, it's got a particulate filters inside the cabin. If you want the most luxurious tractor that I'm aware of, that would be the Kioti NX series. We sell a bunch of them. There's always a good deal on these right now, and I don't know when you'll see this, but right now we're in May of 19. Kioti has a free front loader program, and what that means is if you buy the tractor and the loader, you'll get a rebate equal to the value of the loader, essentially making it a free loader. Never right, Chuck? Charlie is a big fan. He loves riding in the cab. So it makes these machines that are, not, as I said, not inexpensive. It makes them okay. If you're curious about the NX, would love to invite you in to test drive 1 or 2 or all of them. They're fun. And if you would like a quote, we'll put the email address right here. And if you just send us an inquiry, give us an idea of what you're looking for, let us offer you a quote. If you would like to call and talk to us, we've got 2 stores in Nashville, one in Springfield, Tennessee, which is slightly north of Nashville, and that phone number is right here, and in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, which is slightly south of Nashville. That address is right here. And be happy to work you up a quote. We do quotes all day long, and I think they're quite competitive. They must be. We sell lots of tractors. So that is the Kioti NX series Larry Stovesand equipment. America's largest selling Kioti dealer and Tennessee's only 5-paw premier dealer. I appreciate you watching the video and thank you for your support.
I wish that